Chapter 6, Oliver. After second period, Lynn texted the group chat saying her mom made lasagna. It meant something was up, and I'd need to cancel my plans. I type out a quick text to Noah to let him know I couldn't come to my guitar lesson. The Knights and I don't always go off campus together during lunch, but when we do, we go to a restaurant or a fast food place. Lynn says she doesn't want to inconvenience her mom, and that way guys from the team or the girls the other guys are hanging out with can come too. I usually only go with them on Fridays, telling them I'm busy if they ask on another day. Tristan keeps asking if I have a secret girlfriend. In reality, I hired Noah Clark to teach me to play guitar, specifically how to play White Tiger by Our Last Night. I'm hoping to get up the courage to play for Kaylee someday, but I'm not sure that's ever going to happen. In the hallway, I see her heading in my direction with two of her guy friends. I walk quickly to intercept them, determined to finally talk to her. They stop in front of me. I've never been this close to Kaylee before. Her hair is dyed blue now, which brings out her eyes. She's stunning. Can we help you? It sounds like she means, what's wrong with you? Hey, I'm Oliver. I give a wave that I immediately regret. Okay, I'm Kaylee. Do you need something? No? Well, we need to get to class. Kaylee and her friends step around me. Bye. I turn and watch her walk away. I finally get my act together and head towards pre-cal. Daniel Caballero comes up next to me. Hey, I nod at him, hoping he didn't witness what just happened. Hey, you want to tell me what that was all about? Daniel gestures to where Kaylee walked away. So much for hoping. What was it all about? I ask innocently while increasing my pace. Maybe we can get to class before he can figure out exactly what happened. Your awkward conversation with the Queen of Punk. Or he already knows what happened. Great. I was being friendly? I might believe that if you were your friendly, outgoing brother, but you don't even talk to the guys on the team if you don't have to. I shrug. Maybe I'm trying to be more social. I'm not buying that, but if you don't want to talk about it, I won't make you. Are you ready for our pre-cal test today? I say, diverting his attention. Daniel shudders at the reminder, and the subject of Kaylee is dropped. Whew! I haven't talked with any of the guys about Kaylee yet, in part because they don't have committed relationships. I'm the only one who's ever had serious girlfriends. The rest of the Knights do good to have a relationship that lasts for a few weeks, whereas mine lasts for a few months at least. A couple of them have even made it past the year mark. The other girls I've dated either played sports or were on the cheer or drill teams, meaning they hung out in the same crowd as us, and I talked to them before developing feelings for them. We had some common ground and topics I knew I could bring up safely. The only thing I know Kaylee and I have in common is a love for Our Last Night. I don't know how to bring that up without sounding like a creeper. I'm not great at talking to new people to begin with. For the most part, with the girlfriends I've had in the past, the girl made the first move, so trying to initiate something with a girl I'm not even friends with is way out of my comfort zone. The other reason I haven't mentioned Kaylee to anyone is because I know they'll tease me about it, especially if they find out that I learned guitar to impress someone I've barely even talked to. I mean, it took me over 2 months to speak to her, and our exchange in the hallway wasn't exactly a conversation. I do feel like it's progress, though. After we turn in our test, we're allowed to have our phone back and sit at the tables in the back of the classroom. Mrs. Barnes, our pre-cal teacher, is quite relaxed on the whole no phones in class rule. Kaylee is already finished and sitting with her friend while writing furiously in her notebook. I sit next to Lynn at the table she and Xander have claimed. They're both wrapped up and working on another assignment. I text Tristan hoping he can help with the whole Kaylee debacle. He's my best friend, so if I'm going to talk to someone, I'd rather it be him. Oh, Ryder. I've been learning guitar during lunch breaks. Night. Why? Oh, Ryder. To impress a girl. Night. Who? Night. Any luck? Oh, Ryder. Kaylee Cobb. Oh, Ryder. I'll tell you more about her later. Oh, Ryder. Haven't talked to her yet. Oh, Ryder. I need help. Night. You learned guitar for her and haven't even talked to her? Oh, Ryder. I know. Oh, Ryder. I did say hi to her today. Night. You've been learning guitar for at least the last 3 weeks of school. Oh, Ryder. I know. Oh, Ryder. Why do you think I'm asking for help? Night. Does anyone else know? Oh, Ryder. Caballero saw me talk to her, but doesn't know anything yet. Night. Are you telling anyone else? Oh, Ryder. Until now, I wasn't planning on telling you. Oh, Ryder. And Clibero just kind of found out. Night. I won't bring it up at lunch then. Daniel finishes his test and comes to sit with me at the table on the back of the class. Clibero. Queen of Punk? I look at him and he nods at my phone. Oh, Ryder. Night. Clibero. Boring. Daniel rolls his eyes when I look up. Clibero. About the Queen of Punk? Oh, Ryder. Nunya. Oh, Ryder. Her name is Kaylee. She's in class with us. You have to know her actual name. Clibero. Want to talk about it? Oh, Ryder. Not really. Clibero. Why do you think Lynn's mom is making lunch? Oh, Ryder. If I had to guess? Oh, Ryder. Lynn broke up with Slater. Clibero. Good guess. Clibero. She hasn't said anything yet. Oh, Ryder. Maybe it's something else. Daniel shrugs his shoulders. Oh, Ryder. With Frost, we just got a text. Ethan Frost is one of our offensive linemen. Lynn dated him during two-a-days. They broke up the weekend before school started. He appeared to move on at the back-to-school bash. A week later, Lynn and Mark were together. Clibero. I hope it isn't Hoko. Oh, Ryder. Why would it be? Oh, Ryder. Her and Grayson's are the only ones on the court. Daniel shrugs and sends me a finger-crossed emoji. The bell rings and we head to physics together. Tristan joins us in the hallway. He's smirking and looks up to no good. Thankfully, Lynn takes off as soon as the bell rings, and Grayson and Jet head the other way to go to their next class. Don't. We aren't talking about it, especially not here, I say to Tristan before he can start. Okay, I'll behave and won't ask about your guitar lessons. Any idea why we're having lunch at Lynn's? Tristan's body is practically vibrating with energy. No idea, I say at the same time Daniel asks, guitar lessons? I already said we aren't talking about this, I insist. Hold up, you're learning guitar for the Queen of Punk? Daniel puts together what Tristan's inferring and stops in the middle of the hallway. Why do you keep calling her that? I ignore his question but stop with him. Because it fits, and no one else knows who I'm talking about. More importantly, you're learning guitar? Daniel asks. I'm not talking about it, I say to Daniel, then turn to Tristan. No idea. If she wanted us to know ahead of time, she'd have put it in the text. Translation, there's no way to get the information out of Lynn. So what you're saying is we can't talk about the Queen of Punk, and there's no point in trying to figure out what's going on with lunch, Tristan asks as we start back towards our next class. There has to be 100 other topics to discuss. How are things with your new neighbor, I ask. I'm pretty sure the perfect princess has a stick so far up her butt it'll never see the light of day again. But that's no different than how things had been all summer. I'd rather talk about the Queen of Punk. Tristan wiggles his eyebrows. I'd rather listen to you complain for hours about your neighbor's distaste of basketball. Are you joining in on the Queen of Punk nonsense as well, I ask. I don't know who she is, so it seems as good a name as any. If you'd prefer, I can yell her name up and down the hallway until someone answers. Tristan cups his hands around his mouth like he's going to do just that. I knock them away from his face and mutter, Why am I friends with you? Because we make your life interesting. Tristan walks into his next class. You couldn't get rid of us if you tried. Thankfully, Daniel lets the subject drop on the rest of the way to physics.